Namaskara. It is an absolute pleasure to be welcoming you all to the 6th edition of GAFX. Bharata, the premier event for animation, VFX, gaming, comics and XR. Illi Bengaluralli naditiruva event Iga, for you today, Nimigoskara, we have an exciting lineup of sessions, keynote addresses, Hagagi showcasing the latest in technology and growth and AI out here at our Bengaluru GAFX Karyakrama. We are privileged to have with us today our distinguished guests, visionaries, industry leaders, hage policy makers, nama GAFX ke bandirauru. With that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very good morning and a very warm welcome. ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜ್ಞಾನರಾರು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸೋಣ. We have Shri Priyank Karge, Honorable Minister for Rural Development and Panchayat Raj and Information Technology and Biotechnology, Government of Karnataka. Please put your hands together and let's give a warm welcome to Shri Priyank Karge. Sir, thank you for joining us. Shri Sanjay Jaju, Secretary, Minister for Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. Shri Sharad Bachegada, Member of Legislative Assembly and Chairman, Kionics. Dr. Ekrup Kaur, IAS Secretary to Government, Department of Electronics, IT, BT and SNT, Government of Karnataka. Dr. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, Executive Chairperson, Biocon Limited. And Mr. Biren Ghosh, President, Abai and MD, APAC Technicolor. Thank you, dignitaries, for joining us out here. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಶುರು ಮಾಡುವ ಮುಂಚೆ ದೀಪವನ್ನು ಬೆಳಗಿಸಲು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ. So, according to tradition, we will stay true today out here at our GAFX event, requesting our dignitaries present on stage to kindly proceed towards the lamp for the lamp lighting. Along with our dignitaries, welcoming on stage our following dignitaries for the lamp lighting, we have Mr. Marc Lamy, Consul General of France. Requesting your presence on stage, sir. Ms. Hilary Megiachi, Consul General, Australia. Mr. Alfonso Tagliaferri, Consul General, Italy. Mr. Ashish Kulkarni, Founder and CEO, Punaryug Art Vision Private Limited. Mr. Roland Landers, CEO, AIGF. Along with them, requesting our managing committee of Abai to kindly join us on stage for the lighting of the lamp. Dignitaries, requesting you to kindly remain standing on stage, requesting everyone to kindly rise for our Karnataka Nadina Gite. Everybody in the hall, requesting you to kindly rise for our Karnataka Rajagite.
जय भारत जननीय तनुजाते जय हे ಮಕುಟದ ನವಮಣಿಯೇ
ಗಂಧದ ಚಂದದ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಗಣಿ
ರಾಘವ ಮಧುಸೂದನರವತರಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜನನಿಯ ಜೋಗುಳ ವೇದದ ಘೋಷ ಜನನಿಗೆ ಜೀವವು ನಿನ್ನಾವೇಶ ಹಸುರಿನ ಗಿರಿಗಳ ಸಾಲೆ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕೊರಳಿನ ಮಾಲೆ ಕಪಿಲ ಪತಂಜಲ ಗೌತಮ ದಿನನುತ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಶಂಕರ ರಮನುಜ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಮಧ್ವರ ದಿವ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯ ರಂಗ ಷಡಕ್ಷರಿ ಪೊನ್ನ ಕಂಬಲ ಕುಡಿಪತಿ ಜನ್ನ ಕುಮಾರ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಮಂಗಳ ಧಾಮ ಕವಿಗೋಗಿಲೆಗಳ ಪುಣ್ಯಾರಾಮ ನಾನಕ ರಾಮಾನಂದ ಕಬೀರರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಭೈರವ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳರಾಳಿದ ನಾಡೆ ಕಲ್ಲಳ ಜಗಳರ ನಚ್ಚಿನ ಬೀಡೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶರಾವತಿ ತುಂಗ ಕಾವೇರಿಯವರ ರಂಗ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪರಮಹಂಸ ವಿವೇಕರ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಸರ್ವ ಜನಾಂಗದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ತೋಟ ರಸಿಕರ ಕಂಗಳ ಸೆಳೆಯುವ ನೋಟ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ ಪಾರಸಿಕ ಜೈನರುದ್ಯಾನ ಜನಜನ ಹೋಲುವ ಸೊರೆಗಳ ಧಾಮ ನಾಯಕ ವೈಣಿಕರ ರಾಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ ಕುಣಿದಾಡುವ ಗೇಹ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ದೇಹ ಜೈ ಭಾರತ ಜನನಿಯ ತನುಜಾತೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತೆ ಜೈ ಸುಂದರ ನದಿ ವನಗಳ ನಾಡೆ ಜಯ ಹೇ ರಸ ಋಷಿಗಳ ಬೀಡೆ
Thank you, everyone. Requesting you to kindly take your seats. If I could request Mr. Biren Ghosh along with our management committee to kindly do the honors and felicitate our guests of honors present out here, our dignitaries on stage. With a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give a warm welcome to our dignitaries joining us for the 6th edition of GAFX 2025. It's an incredible honor and an absolute pleasure to have you all be a part of Bengaluru GAFX, the future of immersion, where we are here to experience, to explore, and to disrupt. Thank you, Management Committee, and thank you, Mr. Biren, for doing the honors and felicitating our dignitaries out here for GAFX 2025. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to formally welcome you all to Bengaluru GAFX 2025, it is an incredible honor to invite onto the podium Dr. Ekrup Kaur, IAS, as Secretary to Government, Department of Electronics, IT, BT, and S&T, Government of Karnataka, to deliver the welcome address. With a round of applause, please join me in welcoming onto the dais Dr. Ekrup Kaur.
Ellarigu namaskara. A very good morning to esteemed guests, industry leaders, creative professionals, students and friends. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to Bangalore GAFX 2025, India's premier platform celebrating animation, visual effects, gaming, comics, and extended reality industry. This summit reflects Karnataka's leadership in fostering creativity, technology and innovation. The esteemed dignitaries, visionaries and leaders who we have on the gathering today have been instrumental in igniting the fire of entrepreneurship and motivation in the state's ecosystem. Karnataka has always been a pioneer in technology and digital innovation. With Bangalore as technology capital of India, our state is home to a thriving AVGC XR ecosystem, contributing significantly to India's digital content industry. Karnataka leads with 20% share of the national media and entertainment industry. State hosts 300 plus specialized AVGC studios, supporting 15,000 plus strong professional workers. We were the first Indian state to introduce an AVGC XR policy way back in 2012. And last year, we have announced the third five-year AVGC policy. The policy provides for production grants and tax incentives to attract domestic and international studios. It aims to partner with 200 or more educational institutions and industry to train at least 50,000 individuals in AVGC XR specific and standardized skills. While India has emerged as the largest gaming population with over 500 million gamers, the highest number of gaming startups in India are present in Karnataka, positioning Bangalore as the hub for the next-gen game development. Over the past 10 years, on an average, 3 new companies have started out of Karnataka every year. Karnataka is also home to 5 institutes dedicated to animation, 3 for visual effects, and 12 focused on gaming. These educational establishments make up a significant portion of India's 139 institutes in these specialized fields, creating a fertile training ground for future industry leaders. The state has also set up digital arts centers in 27 colleges, catering to 400 students and 1 AVGC XR finishing school with 842 students trained so far. Not only has the state established India's first AVGC Center of Excellence, but it has also launched a dedicated AVGC XR fund. This is first of its kind in the country, and it invests in startups and SMEs in this sector. This fund offers an initial investment ranging from 50 lakhs to 1 crore per company, with follow-on investments going up to 2 crores. So this is a huge incentive support which has been given by the state to a very nascent industry which is still growing in India. But Karnataka has been at the forefront for the last more than a decade, taking a very 360-degree kind of an approach, supporting this ecosystem in all aspects. Going forward, we are in the process of setting up first of its kind AVGC XR Park in Karnataka, which is expected to be a part of larger initiative hosting other technology-focused centers. The park will provide state-of-art production studios and incubation spaces for startups, international collaborations, and research facilities to support innovation. As we look to the future, our vision is to make Karnataka a global epicenter of digital content creation. We are committed to staying ahead of the curve. We hope to position Karnataka as a global AVGC hub by actively engaging with global production houses and investors to enable international collaborations. We aim to support research and development through our centers of excellence and the upcoming AVGC Park. The state has also given a heavy focus on AVGC-specific curriculum development, internships, and global training partnerships, and we aim to create a workforce that is ready to take on the global projects. By 2029, we aim to achieve 30% increase in operational efficiencies, 20% boost in creative output, and 25% expansion in digital marketing reach in AVGC sector, enabled by targeted investments in digital infrastructure, skill building programs, and regulatory reforms. The vision of the government is to ensure that Karnataka is a producer of cutting-edge digital experience. With our talent, industry partnerships, and government support, we are poised to make not just Bangalore, but the entire state a global capital for AVGC innovation. I encourage all of you to take part and take advantage of networking, learning, and collaboration opportunities at GAFX 2025. Let us work together to push the boundaries of creativity and technology. I once again welcome all of you. Let's make this summit a landmark event in Karnataka's journey as the AVGC leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ekruk Kaur, for joining us out here and for that phenomenal welcome address to the gathering out here at GAFX 2025, talking about how we're looking for Karnataka to be the epicenter of digital creation and spearheading this and taking a 360-degree approach. I think that's the way forward. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, now to unveil what lies ahead at GAFX 2025, we have a special curtain raiser for you, led by an industry stalwart who has been at the forefront of India's AVGC revolution. With a round of applause, please join me in welcoming the President of ABAI, Mr. Biren Ghosh.
Dignitaries on the stage, Consul Generals connecting India to the world and vice versa. You, the future of this industry. Welcome to GAFX 2025. We're calling it the future of immersion. This is a seminal event because this is where the future of moving pictures, creative technology, and storytelling ideas all come together in this one platform. Today we stand at the edge of something really extraordinary. And we've coined this phrase in Bengaluru a long time ago. We couldn't say animation, visual effects, games, comics, AR, VR, so we called it AVGC. People outside get very confused when we use this term, but it's one of those things that got made when we were trying to put this together. And as Dr. Ekruk Kaur said, we are 16 going on 17. So I just wanted to say that this industry is no longer about what you see on a screen. It is what we feel, what we experience, and how it takes shape. So that's the theme for this event. This event is really about all of you. Visionaries, pioneers, disruptors. I will let the Honorable Minister tell you why we call it disruption when he talks about this industry and the things that we do in this city. The symbol of this event is the galaxy. And why do we have this symbol? To talk about the future of immersion. The theme is that we are shifting towards a much more inclusive space, and that's why we have the 3 bullets. Experience. As a practitioner, let me assure you that stories no longer exist in 2 dimensions. It is now things that are bringing many worlds together to create that experience. This event, for example, has the science gallery very much a part and parcel of showing what that experience means. Another venture by industry together with the government of Karnataka. What is an experience? When an astronaut looks at the Earth from space, there is this awe, this overwhelming of excitement. And that's exactly what we want to create no matter which product, which screen that we go to. Man's obsession with space is reflective in a quest for endless possibilities, always chasing something that is beyond us, right? And I think, in a sense, we are astronomers or we are astronauts that are trying to create the same understanding of the visual language of the future. Disruption. Disruption is no longer a challenge. Disruption is about an opportunity. The universe itself goes through many disruptions. Dr. Kiran Mazumdar will probably understand black holes and supernovae better than the rest of us. But when the Earth goes through disruptions, it is not destruction because it's a catalyst for new formations. And that's exactly what we are trying to do in this industry, in the future of this country and this platform. I was delighted to be in the jury for this time at Elevate 2025, where we saw 20 finalists. There's no other sector. There are many sectors that are at Elevate. No sector had 20 finalists, a very difficult choice for us to recommend. And the results will be announced soon as to how this city is breeding those future talents and those future businesses. So yes, this is the future of immersion. And this is where storytelling will go into experience. Innovation will go from concept to reality. That's what Elevate is, an idea to POC fund. And Bengaluru will be one of the epicenters of immersive entertainment anywhere in the planet. We are gathered together here with 12 states from across the country. And I do believe that we will create a national AVGC XR alliance with all the folks that are under one roof. I have a great thank you to Dr. Ashish Kulkarni, who's been working together to make this happen, as always. He happens to be the founder of EBAI, but then we lost him to a Western state. But I think he's left his heart and a little bit of his excitement back in Bengaluru, so we're always happy to have him here and to be part of this. What are we really doing? I think we have the central and the state government both present here because this is one of those unique industries where we take India to the world and we want to bring the world to India. And this is not just about creating that excitement. 90% of all animation in the world is created by 2 or more companies, 2 or more countries getting together. And that's why the audiovisual treaties that are signed on a country-to-country basis are really meaningful and very important. And it's extremely important for us to have, Australia, the Honorary Council of Australia, Italy, Germany, France, Uzbekistan, all here to see how are we going to exploit that. This is not an airline map. It probably will exceed the airline map of any airline in the future. So you will hear from my good friend for many years, Dr. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, how one company, one visionary, then multiplies into many companies and many visionaries, and how you're seeing, for example, where IT and biotech are. And I think we have the slipstream to follow that in the AVGC to make sure that we have the same momentum. We are here because we're going to discover what's next. And what's next is really the future of augmented reality. We've come a long way from drawing on paper to pixels on the screen to bringing the entire world around us and in front of us through the glasses that now people have purchased, the new Meta glasses, which are $200 will become $50 in no time. And I would very much encourage Kionics and the electronics folks in India to make sure that game consoles and those glasses are made here in India for the world. The question that we have to ask ourselves is always this, and we come to Bengaluru GAFX to ask this question, what's next? I will let Shri Sanjay Jajuji, who's come as the Secretary from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, to talk about the national agenda, while obviously here we have enough conversation and champions who've taken Bengaluru and Karnataka to the forefront in this industry. So behind the scenes, you are going to be able to see what happens behind the movies that you see on the screen. And it goes rapidly from every sequel that we create. So you have a Fast and Furious and then another one. And then you have a Lion King and then you have a Mufasa. And all this is 4 to 6 years. But the technology, the skill sets, the artistry is way, way ahead from where it was the last time around. And you're going to have a chance to see the world leaders showing you that on this big screen. We made the screen 3 times the size of any previous year for you to sit here and be taken behind those movies to see really how it happens and what happens. Cinema has never been about one screen. It's always been about evolution. What you're seeing here now is the Sphere. This is Las Vegas. This is the Chanel ad last month, made in Bengaluru. There are 12 projects been done here. What is the Sphere? It's 480,000 square feet all around you. 17,000 people sit inside. The dome in the center is as high as the Statue of Liberty. And you will see that when you have that image that we create, and we've done that for 10 or 12 projects just here as one company, that image is at 17K. In order for the people there to have the same experience as you will have on a or 2 or 4K screen in your home. That is where technology is headed, and that is why we are all screen-agers. I'm going to move ahead in the interest of time, but I already made the point that there's a lot of technology happening, but behind all of this, there is one really important point, and that is the people and the talent. You heard from Dr. Ekrup Kaur that we've gone into the hinterland of the state with 27 art colleges. We now have the Ministry of Higher Education in Karnataka that will be here tomorrow on a panel that talks about how we are taking AVGC to colleges and institutions outside of the visual arts. There are a few key things I want you to tell. There are 17 big new things happening here. I won't discuss them because I want you to walk around and see all of them. But we have the first GAFX esports final in the hall right across. So you're going to see 10,000 people. You're going to see 4 teams compete. You're going to see it live on stage. The world will be watching us, and we will be sitting right in front of them and seeing the excitement and the adrenaline of what it takes to make esports really big. This has been a vision that the ministry has had for some years, and we've stretched a little bit, but here we are. We're doing this, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. There is a record-breaking expo zone in which you have all the states here, you have all the companies out here, you have a creative zone. We had 5 times more people competing in the challenge, and when you walk around, you will see the creative arts, the digital arts, in sculpting, in painting, and so on and so forth. And this is only the finalists that we brought here after four rounds of thing. So please unpack GAFX for yourself, because just stay over there, sleep here at night, because you cannot leave this place for 3 days. So there's plenty of horsepower in this room, not just on stage, but in front of me. I can see industry, I can see the technology folks, I can see people that run festivals, I can see people that really bring everything in this industry that makes this happen. Thank you for being here. Every great movement starts with an idea. I just skipped over a scene, but when you see this rise, does anyone know where this is from? Shout it out. And that's without audio. So we're not put it on yet, but the point is, what we really do is to burn images, to have images that burn pathways in your brain. You will never forget it. You will never forget some shots that are created because they are there in you. And when you think of incidents in your life, you're reminded of those. All the stuff you're seeing here is the way that this fantastic team has put together, this whole show. We've planted the seeds. We're growing fast. I'm going to skip over very quickly. I've talked about the pavilions for all the states. I've talked about waves, and I'm going to leave it for Shri Sanjay Jajuji to talk about waves. But I was reading up, sir, Mr. Jaju, I was reading what is a wave. And a wave is created by little rivulets, little capillaries that form on the water through surface tension. And then as it grows over time, it becomes one big wave. So thank you for coming to an important capillary, which is Bengaluru GAFX, in order to create the national agenda for this country. AVGC. We almost never see the sea. By the way, this sea, not the ocean, Darya Sea. And this is going to be a phenomenal event. We have the Uncle Pie Award from Tinkle. We have the 4 founders of the comics industry creating for first time something that can really change and revolutionize the future. Both at the central government and the state government, there is a way to create information, understanding, and campaigns using the illustrated comic book in local languages. And I think we're going to see that this is going to be an explosive thing. We have a very, very special feature, a worldwide IP being launched by Rana Daggubati here in this hall after the Create in India session. So this is going to be, I won't take it away, the thunder, because it's going to be the first superhero from India that will rival Marvel and will rival DC Comics. So that's going to happen here today. There are 17 investors who are going to be presenting all day while they meet people on one day. On the other day, 17 of India's top investors with funds like 500 crores for AVGC will be selecting the best of the best, presenting what they want to invest in, presenting how you should approach them, and what is trending and how that should happen. 17 investors in a full-day investor summit. You're also going to see those presentations from Walt Disney. We've flown down people from Walt Disney. They're going to present Moana 2, currently on screen. Very difficult to do. Never been presented before. 2 from ILM, 2 from DNEG, 2 from MPC, from every large company in the world, from Sony on games. It's just going to be a power-packed. This is no conversation, no panels, no discussions on this stage after these 2 panels. There's only show and tell. And on the inside grand ballroom will be the panels and the thought leadership and so on and so forth. So this is going to be what we have in store for you. I'd just like to say that tomorrow evening, you have a chance to meet the best of the best in this country, because we are hosting with Animation Express the GEM Awards, Gaming, Esports, and Meta. This is a final where all of them will be flown in, and you will see their work, and you will see them awarded and rewarded for an evening of fun and entertainment. So don't miss the GEM Awards tomorrow evening. We also have a Made in Bengaluru special for you. And we want to thank Mr. Jaju, and we want to thank the Ministry of Information Broadcasting, because in few days we got a censor certificate. So Pharrell Williams' movie, Piece by Piece for Lego, was entirely produced in Bangalore by a startup called Zebu Animation. And we are going to screen that here, because it hasn't come to India, and we cannot have Indians miss the chance to see what we create for the world. So that is going to be a first time, one time only screening of Lego Piece by Piece, made waves all over the US and Europe. It will be screened here for the first time. I thought we should do that. We just don't want to talk about animation, we should show it. I'm wrapping up in my next 2 slides. Basically, bringing everyone together. I think it's really important for us to have meaningful conversations with your excellencies in order to create what I would call the country-by-country Global Innovation Alliance. It's an agenda that we have been charged with by the Secretary, and we need to make some progress. Some of the other industries are moving a little bit quicker than us, so we look forward to sit with you, because in each of your countries, there are seminal events and opportunities to create this connection between us and them. So thank you very much for being here. I'll end by saying that business is no longer about what we do. It's about who knows who. And therefore, I think the B2B, put together, as always, by one of the doyens of our team, Ajay Aparup, is going to see a never-before combination of buyers, distributors, and people that are coming to pitch with them. It's getting better every year. I think we have 50 qualified pitchers and lots of other people knocking at the door. So what do we want to see from this? I would like to see 3 things. I would like to see the next Academy Award film being created by an Indian director in India. This is one dream. Number 2, the next billion-dollar gaming franchise should be born in Bengaluru or India. And number 3, the most advanced AI-driven storytelling for all the screens to come out of a startup or a company in our ecosystem. These are the 3 dreams I have. But this is not a dream, it's a roadmap. And I think that roadmap is being delivered at Bengaluru GAFX. So in the end, I would just say that the way we do things is to create something out of nothing. We have a phenomenal lineup for you. Thank you very much for being here, and we look forward to the rest of this thing. I hope I've been a little bit slow, but I hope the curtain is now raised. Welcome to Bangalore GAFX 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Biren Ghosh, and indeed, welcome to GAFX Bengaluru 2025, talking strongly about how we're looking forward to the next billion-dollar gaming idea to take its birthplace from Bengaluru to having an Indian director directing in India. So much to look forward to, and as Mr. Ghosh said, we have several eminent speakers joining us across the next 3 days to share with you their visions and their ideas of how we can put our best foot forward, talking about a collaborative effort to make Bengaluru GAFX 2025 that much more successful. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, our next address comes from an eminent leader whose contributions to India's technological and business ecosystem have been groundbreaking. Please, with a round of applause, join me in welcoming our industry guest of honor, Dr. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to participate in this wonderful event. You know, I am someone who has witnessed the evolution of digital and visual technologies over many, many decades. And I can tell you that what I grew up with and what we are witnessing today is really awe-inspiring. Today, the technologies that we are discussing and witnessing and experiencing are something that no one can do without. Whether you look at the research labs in Biocon, whether you look at the GCC centers, whether you look at the way government wants to function, and whether you look at any startup who wants to basically get started. I think without these new technologies, without digital technologies, and most importantly, without audiovisual and AI technologies, we can't achieve what we want to. In our own labs, we are using imaging technologies, and a lot of three-dimensional technologies and computational technologies, which are really going to make it and making it much easier to do drug discovery and drug innovation. I remember that one of my former directors, who actually won an Oscar, a technical Oscar, for Indiana Jones and the special effects and bringing laser technologies and digitizing cinematography, used to tell me that he actually developed these technologies in his in a way where he needed to meet payroll. He had started a company called Digital Optics, which was actually looking at various aspects of drug innovation. And because it was an early stage startup and he needed to meet payroll, he was explaining to me that he actually started talking to George Lucas and talking about optics, digital technologies, and that's what led him to win his technical Oscar. And today, it's very interesting to know how science and arts meet in these technical Oscars, even today. So I really believe that what Bangalore has achieved in this space is commendable. It is the ideal ecosystem, because you are seeing the coming together and the convergence of many, many technologies that is making this possible. And I think what you're going to basically experience at this conclave is going to be very exciting, very immersive. I think everyone talks about the experience, the immersive experience, and that's what the audiovisual technologies are allowing you to do. Today, every one of us tries to portray, the audiovisual impact that we can create in terms of how we message, how we showcase ourselves. And I think more than ever, today we have the opportunities and the capabilities to actually do that in this city. It is a matter of fact that we have a large number of companies, and both small and big, who are actually able to do world-class innovation in this sector. You know, from holographic tours of various companies and cities, we are able to basically do, you know, create virtual reality anywhere and everywhere we go. And that, I think, is the exciting aspect of the world we live in today. And I must congratulate Biren and his entire team. I'm also very happy that Secretary Jaju is here, and of course, our biggest champion is our Minister Kharge. So this is a sector where I think the government of Karnataka has decided to take a major lead, and it is a sector where the government has been investing over the years to make sure that we build great capabilities and come up with policies that are far-reaching and forward-thinking. So this is about our future. This is about, you know, imagining the future, and this is about creating the future. So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much for having me here, and I really look forward to all that is going to happen over the next few days. Thank you.
Talking about creating a future and imagining a future. Thank you, Ms. Shaw, for joining us out here and for those brilliant words. And furthering our conversation and setting the vision for GAFX 2025, we now have the opportunity and privilege to hear from some of our influential voices, governance and industries. Please welcome on stage our distinguished speaker to share with us his vision and his thoughts. We have the chairman of Kionics, Shri Sharath Bachegowda.
Maybe just to bring a bit of a local flavor into the proceedings, ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಪಂಚಾಯತ್ ರಾಜ್, ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣಾಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ITBTನ ಸಚಿವರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆತ್ಮೀಯರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಕ್ ಖರ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಬಯೋಕಾನಿನ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಶ್ವಾದ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ತಂದುಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಿರಣ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರೇ, ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅವರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಏಕ್ರೂಪ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರೇ, ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾರಣೀಕರ್ತರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವೀರೇನ್ ಘೋಷ್ ಅವರೇ, ಮತ್ತು ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜಾಜು ಸರ್ ಅವರೇ, ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯಾತಿ ಗಣ್ಯರೇ, ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ AVGCನ ಸೆಕ್ಟರಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದರೆ, I extend a very warm welcome to all our friends of the AVGC sector. And I must say that GAFX holds a very special place in my heart, mainly for two reasons. The first reason is one of the first program that I attended after becoming chairman of Kionics under the Department of ITBT was GAFX 2024. So it's with a very warm heart that I recollect the events of GAFX. And also a second, first was a government-sponsored tour or a government-sponsored trip to see how the AVGC sector we took up when we went to Europe, and especially spent some time in Annecy in France. So one of the first things which we did when we were in Annecy in France is we said, we want to bring a part of Annecy back to Bangalore and make sure that we can replicate what is happening in Annecy, which is one of the world's most premier AVGC events in Bangalore. And I think with great pride I can say, we've not just bought back a small bit, we've bought back a big chunk of Annecy back to Bangalore, and GAFX 2025 is much bigger and better for the experience and exposure that we've had at Annecy. And at the risk of maybe slightly irritating His Excellency, the Ambassador to France, I think the only difference between Annecy and Bangalore is that Bangalore is, in my biased opinion, slightly prettier than Annecy. So having said that, if you look at the targets which the government has set for itself as to what we want to do in the AVGC field, I think the targets are quite clear. An $800 billion industry worldwide. We are looking at about 5% of this $800 billion industry, which is about $40 billion for the state of Karnataka. The overall media and entertainment percentage, I think already what A Group Madam said, we are looking to boost it from about 20% AVGC contribution to 35% AVGC contribution. If you ask me, all of these are very humble targets which the government has set for itself. India's demographic dividend. India's demographic dividend means that we are completely ripe for the AVGC sector. The median age of India is 29 years. 65% of India's population is below 35 years. What does this mean? As A Group ma'am already said, we have the largest gaming population in the world. If you look at the largest anime fan base, India has the second largest anime fan base in the world. And if you look at steps going forward into the future, as the anime fan base grows, India is going to contribute 60% towards the growth of this fan base. So there is consumption, there are consumers, there are consumptions definitely available in India. The same applies to content creation as well. If you look at the age bracket in which India exists, 29 years is the median age. So there are a lot of young people, youngsters, who have potential for content creation, potential for entry into AVGC, potential for absorption of technology, and potential for content creation. So if you look at it, India is completely ripe and India is ready, both with content consumption and for content creation. So if we put these two together, I don't see why we cannot achieve the target of a 50 billion AVGC sector and 35% in media and entertainment. If you look further forward in the industry, as things have been going, as things have been progressing, Biren sir mentioned it, we worked as a service industry for a long time. We worked as a service industry for studios for a long time. But I think it's time for India to break out. And I think it's time for India to leverage on its rich cultural heritage and rich cultural history and tell stories which are relevant for the world on a world stage. I think as a part of 2025, we've got to focus heavily on Indian content creation and Indian IP creation. And of course, service is needed. Service is an important part of what we are doing over here for the industry growth. But we need to look towards how we can leverage our culture, leverage our history, leverage our storytelling abilities to make content which is relevant for the world. We have a lot of mythology, we have a lot of imaginary characters in our stories. If you look at Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these tales, they are filled with what could be easily adapted into anime, what could be easily adapted into animation and visual effects. So with this, I would say that what we are doing over here, we've been continuously calling the AVGC sector a sunrise sector. But I think it's time to go beyond that. The sun has already risen, and it is time for us here in India to make hay. Because the world is changing very quickly, the world is changing very rapidly. As Biren sir was saying, there's a lot of disruptions which are going on in the world. We've seen that studios in Hollywood are going through a lot of turmoil and churn. We are seeing that AI is impacting the way content is created in many ways. Even India hasn't stayed insulated from these disruptions. We over here are feeling these disruptions as well. But as Biren was saying, disruption is a great opportunity for us to create something new, to start something exciting. And I think with all the students which we have over here, with all the youngsters which we have over here, and with the work that the government of Karnataka is doing over here, we are doing a lot of exciting things to make sure that Karnataka is at the forefront of this transformation which is taking place in the AVGC sector. If you just look at some of the preliminary steps which the state has taken, if you look at what we've done in terms of skilling, the state of Karnataka, under the able leadership of Priyank Kharge, has done the Nipuna program, through which the government has set aside 300 crore rupees for skilling of youngsters, predominantly in IT and IT-enabled fields and in AVGC. If you look at the way we are supporting technology, we are setting up COEs, we are supporting the AVGC companies to acquire hardware and IT infrastructure, which is expensive. The government is also supporting studios to go outside, meet customers, sell their stories, production houses to get exposure on a global platform. So if you ask me, Karnataka as a state is a place where we've got a proactive government, a government which understands the industry, a government who wants to support the industry, and right now the time is right. We have the stories, we have the talent, we have a supportive government. I think we all need to go out, scale, and make sure that we attain our complete potential. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak over here, and I wish everybody who's a part of GAFX 2025 all the best.
Thank you, Shri Bachegada, for joining us out here and for that brilliant vision that you put forth, talking about how the government of Karnataka truly is in support with our AVGC sector, talking about how we are putting our forefront and our best foot forward to be able to revolutionize this industry and, of course, using the disruption to our advantage. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome on the dais our Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. With a round of applause, please join me in welcoming Shri Sanjay Jaju.
Honorable Minister Priyank Kharge, Honorable Kiran Mazumdar-ji, I would address her not just as the chairperson of, now the member of the advisory board for Waves, Mr. Sharath Pachwa-Gowda-ji, Mr. Biren Ghosh, Mr. Ekrup Kaur, members of the industry, members of the foreign delegations, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank GAFX Bangalore, Government of Karnataka, Bangalore, and Biren Ghosh and his entire team for giving us this opportunity to be here at GAFX. Ladies and gentlemen, I was hearing the previous speakers, and one thought that came to my mind was that this indeed is the most opportune moment for, as we call it, the AVGC XR segment for our country. The animation, visual effects, gaming, extended reality. An area where technology and creativity are intersecting. And why is that? Many of us have spoken about it. Not just the demographics, but at the same time, it's also got to do with the fact that now, in few years, we will be the third largest economy in the world. We also have a rich cultural heritage that runs to, if it is documented, close to 5,000 years of rich history of storytelling, which all contributes to this vast canvas of the media and the entertainment sector that we all talk about. And friend, it's also a fact that right from the dancing girl during the Indus Valley civilization times, Harappan civilization times, as you know it, to the Samaved, coming down to Natya Shastra, to Yakshagan, to Mahabharata, to Ramayana. A major director, a film director actually once told me that, we actually have close to 10,000 stories and on a scale basis to be told, and we have hardly told 10 so far. That's the scale of the work that we can do. And friends, that's why the focus in Government of India has, from this year onwards, in the third term of the Honorable Prime Minister Modi is moving towards what is being called as orange economy. And it all started from his address in the Independence Day, on the Independence Day from the ramparts of Red Fort, where the Honorable Prime Minister mentioned that we need to create a world-class media and entertainment industry in our country. He talked about creating Indian creators, Indian animators. And after that, his entire focus in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has now moved towards pushing the media and entertainment vertical, the orange economy vertical, and become a propelling force, become a catalytic agent for supporting the industry and for ensuring that this becomes a major contributor to not just to our economic progress, but it also allows us to take our stories outside. And when I say stories outside, you know all that. I mean, stories do not mean films alone. Story mean our soft presence in the world. If we are the most populous nation in the world, if we are the third largest economy in the world, if we are one of the best storytellers in the world, our soft message of peace, of global harmony should travel everywhere. And with so many people from our country living outside, with such a huge diaspora, it's important that we utilize this opportunity to unite the world through the message of global harmony, and all that can happen through the growth of the media and entertainment sector. This is a larger perspective that our Honorable Prime Minister has been laying, and I thought I will use those words and tell all of you about that vision. So friends, let me come down to some brass tacks. The first and foremost is the announcement by none other than the Honorable Prime Minister himself that India will start hosting a global media and entertainment summit, as is being called as WAVES, World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit. You may have a question, what exactly is WAVES all about? Yes, WAVES, as Birren pointed out, everything travels on waves. I mean, you're watching your phone. I think these are microwaves, right, moving around. Waves also have a connotation of what you can call it as rhythm. A sine wave moves at a particular beat. So it's actually a combination of rhythm, melody. So got to do with the entertainment world, obviously, with the music that we hear, with the rhythm of life. So all this has been woven together into this piece called Waves. This was envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister in 2019. And he likened it to something called as, create an event which can bring the global eyeballs, the global media and entertainment eyeballs to India. We have so many young people in our country who produce content, who polish content, who posts content. And it's important that this content goes outside. Of course, we also take content from the rest of the world, but at least become the net content exporter and at least allow our stories to go outside. And with that vision, he thought of an event which could be like a world entertainment forum or a world creative forum where you can allow the world leaders from the industry, from those who are in the policy side, to come to India, talk about the issues that of common interest, talk about the opportunities that are available in this segment, and this is how this whole mission for WAVES was crafted. At the same time, in this technology-driven world, our Prime Minister also thinks that this is the way to connect to our inners, insides, our human emotions. And media entertainment plays a huge role to all that we hear as song, dance, drama, etc. But it connects us to our inner being. It actually makes us human. That's the overriding spirit behind WAVES. It's not to score a business opportunity over others, but it's actually to create the inner harmony, the inner peace with ourselves, and it's this vision that WAVES is being envisioned. So while this is the philosophical or the larger vision of Waves, I wanted to inform all of you that our advisory board member, Mr. Shah, is here, and our Prime Minister had a 2-hour-long meeting in the middle of the night with all the advisory board members, and the advisory board includes all the top CEOs of the multinationals who operate everywhere in the world, Mr. Nadella, Mr. Sundar Pichai, the CEOs of Netflix, Amazon, Sony, the global CEOs. Then you have the Indian top companies, Reliance, you have Madam here, you have Mr. Anand Mahindra here, and all those who are involved in the film fraternities, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, Mr. Rajnikant, Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, all these members had a 2-hour-long conversation with Honorable Prime Minister. And one part that the Prime Minister suggested is, I want this event to be by the industry, for the industry, of the industry. While we all as policymakers, as government servants may play a role in catalyzing this entire thing together, but I think his understanding is the events of this nature can only succeed if the industry takes over these events and converts them as business opportunities. And friends, now the advisory board members have decided that the Waves is now going to be held from 1st May till 4th May in Mumbai at the Geo Center. It will be one of its kind event because this is the first time all the verticals of media entertainment are going to get together. Now we have events like this. I mean, this is one vertical. But there are so many verticals in the media entertainment pie. You have the traditional news, you have the traditional television, you have the traditional radio, you have the GAFX segment, you have the film segment, as we all know about it. You also now have the new media, you have the social media, you have the OTT, you have generative AI, you have live concerts, live events, you have gaming. All these things are becoming part of our media and entertainment pie. And so this is arguably the world's first convergence event where all these verticals are being put together so that the convergences which are there and the intersections which happen would not just multiply to our ability to do better storytelling, but would also add to the business aspects of this particular business. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a fact that we have a rich story of storytelling. But would you believe it, that in the global media and entertainment pie, despite the fact that we do so much good work, our share is only 2%. Only 2%. So what do we need to do? What are the questions we need to ask? I think we need to get together, we need to put our act together, and we need to find out, identify opportunities, if not create new opportunities, and see to it that this becomes huge. Because as I said, this orange economy has huge economic potential. We have the demographics on our side. We need to get this demographic to work towards crafting this 4%, 10% share that we require in the world media entertainment pie. Effectively, we want India to become the epicenter for the media and entertainment business, at least for the global south. And this is what we are looking at. We also understand that all this would require efforts coming in from many of the young creators. And that's why, friends, very happy to tell you, many of you are aware of it because many of you have been participating in. We have also launched Create in India Challenge Season 1 this year. It was launched. When we started it, we never knew that it will grow to that level. I mean, we started with some challenges. We thought we'll get some few entries here and there. At least we'll create some momentum. Industry associations got together, and almost the entire gamut of media entertainment pie, be it reel making, be it anime challenge, be it battle of the bands, be it gaming development, all aspects of media entertainment were covered with 25 challenges. But then the Prime Minister spoke in Man Ki Baat in September, and he spoke about it for almost 15 minutes. And after that, this became like a deluge. Now we have a huge challenge ourselves in. These challenges have given a challenge to us now, because we have now got more than 1 lakh entries across from, and I'm saying viable entries. They are not just somebody pulling in a registration. More than 1 lakh viable entries, and believe me, it's a huge challenge now for the industry to shortlist some 400-500 who can come to the finals, which are going to happen in waves. But this also goes to show that there's so much talent lying in our country in terms of creation. There are so many people who have the knowledge of doing comic writing, or converting a comic into an anime, or reel making, or doing a truth tell hackathon by creating a software which can actually kind of tell you whether it is a fact or not. So this is the kind of energy that our country has, and all this is getting translated into the large number of creators who have come in. These challenges have now 32. Seeing the growth, we have also expanded the time limit for submissions so that our jury members also get adequate time for shortlisting them. And I would urge all of you here to spread the word around for encouraging more and more creators to become part of Create in India Challenge. They will not just be the winners alone. After that, we also intend to take them through an incubation process, hone their skills so that they become world class in the end, right? At the same time, at Waves, we also have opportunities for startups. We're calling it WaveX. I think we're drawing from GAFX, right? So we'll use WaveX, Waves Accelerator. And Wave Accelerator is where we will incubate future M&E enterprises, future M&E startups. So WaveX is also going to be part of it. Karnataka, Bangalore being the startup capital of India, I would again encourage all of you to be part of WaveX. I think they are inviting entries. There will be pitching sessions. There will be opportunities for you to get Series A, seed rounds, etc., etc. And I think some of these startups could then develop solutions, as Biren was saying in this first place, which can then become big ideas and eventually, big corporations for M&E. And because this is how disruption is happening in this particular sector. Besides this, I will also request many of you to also register yourself for Waves as delegates. But if you're a large company, you want to have a presence, because it will be attended by more than 100 countries, you should definitely set up a pavilion. If you're a big company and sponsor some of your delegates to Waves, it's a great opportunity again for you to do that. In fact, I would also urge, Minister Saab, I would also urge Government of Karnataka, you are the hub of media and entertainment as far as we are concerned. I mean, the hub for animation and VFX work. And I think we'll urge, and we have been telling all the other states, but I would specifically request and urge Government of Karnataka to be there in full presence in Waves, set up a pavilion, send a delegation, send an industry delegation, and that would actually help Karnataka become and continue to remain the leader in this particular segment. Besides this, friends, we all understand that there are a lot of opportunities. Our demographics is on our side, but skills is one area where possibly our demographics have to match with. And in order to address these skill gaps, I'm very happy to tell you that the Union Cabinet has cleared, and it's now in the process of setting up, the Indian Institute of Creative Technology, IICT. The kind of contributions which IITs and IIMs have done to the Indian or the world economy and to the world growth is known to all of us. And there was this huge gap where we have the creators, but they require technology. Or we have the technology, but then you require creators. So how do you create an intersection between the creators and technology, because technology now plays a huge role in creating art. And to bridge this gap, the announcement has been done, and believe me, friends, in few years, IICT is with its campus in Mumbai will be set up. We are already starting the temporary campus, thanks to the effort put in by Biren here, Ashish there. I can see Munjal here. All these gentlemen have been taking their time out of their busy schedules and are now busy setting up the temporary campus. And everybody has promised us. And again, it's an industry-led effort. We are only giving some bridge support. It is led by all these gentlemen here. And from 1st April, we are starting the temporary campus already. So it's not going to be waiting. We are not going to wait for 2 years for the final campus to come up. But 1st April, we are starting the temporary campus in Mumbai. Plus, we also starting regional hubs in cities like Bengaluru or Hyderabad or whosoever comes in, because it's a hub and spoke model. Believe me, friends, we need to really bridge this skill gap so that all these, the demographic edge that we have gets the advantage of skilling. So friends, it's indeed a great moment for me to be here. Sorry, I've been doing a pitch for Waves, but Waves is your event. And many of you are part of our steering committees, and I'm sure huge presence from the audience here, a spread of the word, will help us mount this event. As the Honorable Prime Minister says, it is not an event. He used this word in his conversation with all the advisory board members. He said it's a movement. I want Waves to be a movement for content creators, a movement for storytellers, a movement for technologists who work in this space, a movement where the world can meet together and talk about the issues and, look at the opportunities and ultimately create win-win situations through either business-to-business opportunities or human-to-human opportunities or culture-to-culture opportunities. So I think that's the message that comes in from the top, and I'm sure many of you would be part of us at Waves. And once again, my gratitude to GAFX, to Birenji. You have been doing a stellar effort in this direction, not just in your personal capacities in your own organizations, but all these social initiatives, be it GAFX, be it IICT, be it in all our subcommittees, etc. And I sincerely hope and believe that the next 10 years would possibly be India's time in the media and entertainment pie. Thanks once again. Gratitude.
Looking forward to the next 10 years having India be in the forefront and the focus for media and entertainment. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjay, for joining us out here and for brilliantly putting forth your visions and your thought. It's an incredible honor and indeed a privilege to have with us the Honorable Minister for Rural Development and Panchayat Raj and Information Technology and Biotechnology, Government of Karnataka, gracing this occasion with his presence. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to hear from Shri Priyank Kharge with a round of applause. Please join me in welcoming Shri Priyank Kharge on the dais.
Ellarigu namaskara. Dignitaries on stage, Dr. Kiran Mazumdar, Mr. Viren Ghosh, Shri Sanjay ji, Dr. Kaur, my friend, Shri Sharath, distinguished Council Generals, industry pioneers, creators and disruptors. It's with immense pride I welcome you to GAFX 2025. I think the opening ceremony has gone a little more than we expected. We are running over our schedule, I guess, and I have nothing left to say. Biren spoke about the international perspective. Dr. Kaur spoke about the state perspective. Dr. Kiran spoke about her perspective and the industry perspective. Sanjay ji spoke about the national perspective. And Mr. Sharath spoke about the department's perspective. So I have really nothing to say. So that's why in speeches and at weddings, you should always be the first. Weddings, you should always sit first round for your lunch. then what happens is the person who's serving also treats you with a lot of respect, and he says like, he gives you all the items on the menu. He'll pamper you, he'll ask, do you want some more rice, do you want some more sambar? And you'll get everything. But if you are the last person sitting, if you're sitting in the last round of the wedding to eat lunch, he'll be waiting to close down and there'll be nothing left for you to eat. Similarly in speeches also, पहले कर दिया तो संजय जी सब कुछ बात करने को मिलता है, आखिरी में कुछ बचा नहीं रहता है, and I can make out from their faces that I need to finish fast. So I'll not take much time, but it is extremely an important event for not just for the government of Karnataka, but also from the nation's perspective. I think we are no longer confined to the periphery of global entertainment, and we have emerged as a nexus of innovation, creativity, and technological prowess. Our studios and professionals are not only contributing, but also leading global projects, infusing them with unique perspectives and unparalleled expertise. In animation and visual effects, Indian artists and technicians have been instrumental in delivering cutting-edge visuals for both domestic and international productions. Our contributions have garnered global acclaim, positioning India as a hub of high-quality animation and VFX services. The Indian animation market is valued close to around $1.4 billion, and we are emerging as a leading animation services with exports in the sector increasing by 10% annually. The World Trade Organization has reported that our IT services export, including animation, will be crossing 300 billion by this financial year of 2024, and over 15% of the global animation outsourcing market is from India. Increasing adoption of animation in digital advertising has ensured that digital advertising expenditure in India has crossed over $15 billion. And I think that is a game changer for many of the creative minds, especially who are freelancing and running smaller studios. And more importantly, the gaming sector. I think we are one of the world's fastest growing markets. Despite central government's 28% GST, we have ensured that the market grows at 23% year on year, and we'll be touching $3.8 billion by the financial year of 2024. And the Indian gaming market size is set to grow beyond $4.5 billion by the end of next year. And with sustained growth in in-app purchases and ad revenue, the gaming market is expected to cross $9.2 billion by 2029, growing at 20% a year. The Indian gaming market also added 23 million new gamers last year. And as I speak, we have 590 million total gamers in 2024. And the number of paying gamers has now increased to around 148 million people. The scale, in fact, you'll be quite surprised. I think the UPI transaction itself has crossed more than 7,000 crores in this. So the reason I'm speaking about this is you need to understand the scale of the change you can bring. And now with the advent of extended reality technologies, we have unlocked new dimensions in storytelling and user engagement. Indian innovators are at the forefront, crafting immersive experience that transcend traditional media boundaries. The global extended reality market size was estimated close to be around $143 billion, and is expected to grow at a whopping 38.9%. And this is something that India needs to play catch up to. We need to pull up our socks here, and we need to ensure that we do better in this sector. In fact, Dr. Kiran was just mentioning why can't we have a metaverse wherein an immersive experience of the Mahabharata or the Ramayana, where your actions change the nature of the war that was fought. I mean, it's very doable, but quite expensive, but I'm sure that is probably a grand challenge for some of our studios sitting here. And the reason I'm rattling out these statistics, the reason I'm putting this out to you is that I think that you need to understand the vast potential that both the industry and the policy framework of AVGC has for tremendous growth in this sector. And I think by leveraging the potential of both the policy makers, as well as the private sector, we can drive innovation, expand opportunities for creative professionals, and ultimately generate significant number of jobs that not only benefits individual creators, but also strengthens the broader economic landscape by encouraging entrepreneurship, digital transformation, and consistent growth in the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's GAFX 2025 is slightly different. I think this is going to be a landmark event because of the many decisions that the government and ABAI have taken together. For the first time, we are opening up our event for public at no cost. And this will ensure that there is a deeper connection between the creators and audiences. This inclusive approach aims to inspire the next generation of talent and enthusiasts. So I think this is something needs to be spread throughout your ecosystem, saying that GAFX is free for all. It's a public event. It's your event. And you need to ensure that you come and see what the government of Karnataka is doing, what the creators and the innovators are doing here for the sector. And more importantly, we also have the Investor Connect platform, which serves startups and established entities to connect with potential investors, fostering an environment conducive for growth and collaboration. And more importantly, for the first time, we are also going to have the National Esports Tournament. Am I right on the thing? On a Counter-Strike, if I'm not mistaken. So we are having the National Esports final competition for Counter-Strike right here, which will showcase the skill and the passion of our gaming community. And I think this is something that we need to take it to the next level, and I'm hopeful that this year we will also be hosting our own National Esports Festival. Dr. Kaur, I'm on record, so you need to move the entire system to ensure that whatever I have said comes to life here. So my intention is to hold the nation's and perhaps Asia's biggest e-sporting festival for our gaming community as well. And Sanjay ji was talking about having a Bharat pavilion. Sanjay ji, I would like to say that we have an India pavilion here in GAFX with 15 states participating here. And I'd like to assure you, whether it is Skill India, Digital India, Make in India, Amrit Kaal, Vikshit Bharat, Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat, जो भी slogans आप देंगे, everything has to start from Karnataka, be empowered from Karnataka, and we will be leading the nation on whatever intent the central government has. But at the same time, I would also seek support from the government of India to ensure that we cater better, not only for ourselves, not only for the Bengaluru ecosystem, Karnataka ecosystem, not only for India, but we have the capability to invent and innovate for the globe. With close to around 837 global capability centers and their units, that innovation, that disruption is happening right here in India, and also, of course, within this sector. So I'll not take much of your time. Lastly, I would request all the young minds over here, all the creators over here, all the new age disruptors here, please leverage this platform. This event is your event, and I'm hoping that you will forge new partnerships, explore and experience uncharted territories, and collectively shape the future of not just Karnataka, but also India from GAFX 2025. Thank you so much for being here, and have a great time at the GAFX 2025.
How brilliantly said Shri Priyank Karge, talking about utilizing this opportunity that's been brought to you by Bengaluru GAFX 2025, looking to explore, to create opportunities, and using this disruption as your way forward and paving the way to empower Karnataka. Thank you so much for your presence out here, sir, and brilliantly said, if I may add. And now, ladies and gentlemen, joining us on stage, we have Mr. Roland Landers, CEO of All India Gaming Federation, the apex industry body for online gaming in India. Now, he is a seasoned professional with 25 plus years of experience across media, entertainment, sports business, and online gaming, joining us today for a special launch about Digital Detox Center. With a round of applause, please join me in welcoming on the dais Mr. Roland Landers.
Morning, everyone. Honorable Shri Priyank Kharge ji, Honorable Sharad Bachegowda ji, Shri Sanjay Jaju ji, Dr. Ekrup Kaur, Dr. Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, and Biren. Thank you for having me here. Exactly a year ago, at this very platform, Shri Priyank Kharge ji had announced a vision, and we are happy to see the fruition of that vision, which is the Digital Detox Center beyond screens, which is a pivotal step, we believe, towards fostering mindful and responsible digital engagement. As the apex industry body for online gaming, the All India Gaming Federation has consistently led efforts in promoting user-friendly, mindful, and safe digital practices. Collaborating with the government of Karnataka to realize this vision has been a real privilege for all of us. In an era of escalating digital consumption, the Digital Detox Center will serve as an essential resource advocating for awareness, balance, and healthier digital habits. I extend my sincere gratitude to the state of Karnataka for welcoming with open arms the fast-growing online gaming industry, which is today a $3 billion industry and expected to double in a few years' time. I also want to thank the Honorable Chief Minister and the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister for their leadership in the tech sector and the unwavering support that we have received from the Karnataka government, and especially under the guidance of Shri Priyank Kharge ji. A special thanks to Dr. Ekrup Kaur, who has been instrumental in guiding us and in shaping this initiative. We also deeply appreciate the efforts of the KIDS team led by Biren and their continued support. And lastly, but definitely not the least, we extend our gratitude for our implementation partner, Kaha Mind, for their expertise and commitment to the cause. I would especially like to mention the work that the Central Ministry of Information and Broadcasting is doing under the guidance of Shri Sanjay Jaju ji, especially in furthering the AVGC mission and in supporting the Indian companies. We are looking forward to seeing Waves Summit to be a big success in the few months. The pioneering initiative of the Detox Center Beyond Screens marks the beginning of a journey towards a more mindful and sustainable digital future. We look forward to continuing on this path together and to growing the game development space with the vision of having world-led games coming out of India very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Landis, for joining us out here. Mr. Biren, if I could ask you to kindly hand over a token of appreciation, a memento to our dignitaries gathered out here on our stage for having taken the time off and joined us out here for GAFX 2025. An incredible honor and indeed a pleasure to have you be a part of it. Can we have the mementos being brought forth, please? Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's show our true appreciation for our path creators, our thought provokers, our leaders in action. Thank you so much for the honor of joining us out here at GAFX 2025 and sharing with us your thoughts, your opinions, your visions, and our way forward. And thank you for leading the way. Dignitaries, asking you to kindly take a step forward for a quick photo opportunity. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and let's give a round of applause to all our dignitaries joining us out here this morning for the inauguration of GAFX 2025. If I could request the Council Generals to kindly also join us on stage for a quick photo opportunity. We have the Council General of Italy, Australia, France. Thank you, dignitaries, for joining us out here for GAFX 2025 and being a part of our vision for our brilliant future ahead. Thank you for your presence and thank you for being a part of our inauguration. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the dignitaries present on stage this morning. Thank you, dignitaries. And now to deliver the concluding remarks, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome on stage Mr. Srinivas from Abhay.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಗೆಫೆಕ್ಸ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. It is with immense gratitude and appreciation that I take this moment to deliver the vote of thanks at the inaugural event of Asia's largest event in AVGC, Bengaluru GAFX. First and foremost, my heartfelt thanks to Sri Priyank Kharge ji, Honorable Minister, for being the guiding light for all of us at the department and at Abhay from having named the event as GAFX way back in 2017. This event, formerly known as Abhay Fest and Summit, was renamed as Bengaluru GAFX on the advice and the idea of the Honorable Minister. A big thank you to the Department of ITBT, Dr. Ekrup Kaur Madam, for having always supported us and guided us in all the initiatives that we do, and for the unwavering support in making GAFX the premier AVGC event in Asia. Your vision and commitment to the creative industry continue to elevate India's standing on the global stage. A special word of gratitude to our special guest of honor, Mr. Sanjay Jajuji, Secretary, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, for gracing this occasion with your presence and for sharing your insights that inspire and encourage the entire AVGC community. Thank you to Sri Sharat Bachegowda ji, Member of Legislative Assembly and Chairman of Kionics, for his wonderful words of wisdom and his hold on the industry and its figures, and for having enlightened us with the way ahead. Thank you again, sir. Your support strengthens our industry and fuels its growth. To all our distinguished dignitaries, Consul Generals, Mr. Mark Lamy, Consul General of France, Bengaluru, Ms. Hilary Megici, Consul General of Australia, Mr. Alfonso Tagliaferri, Consul General of Italy, and Mr. Ashim Eckert, Consul General of Germany, for having graced the occasion and been with us as a support. Thank you very much. And last but not the least, thank you to Sri Biren Ghoshji, our guiding light, our advisor, our guide, the beacon of the AVGC industry, for having always led the way for years together. Sir, you are our guiding light and you have to lead us further too. Thank you to all the speakers, all the panelists, all the mentors, juries, all the students, audience, professionals from studios, and everyone who have set the right tone for the event by being here and giving us the support that is required to build this sector into a formidable sector of the country. Just to end the note, as they say, the future is not about what we enter, the future is what about what we create. So let's all work together in creating a better future, a wonderful future, a sustainable future for the animation, visual effects, gaming, and comics and XR/VR community of the country. 3 cheers to that, and with that I end my vote of thanks, and looking forward to a very bright GAFX event. Have a nice 3 days, enjoy, have a nice time, gain a lot of wisdom, and be with us again next year. Thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivas. As we conclude this grand inauguration, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished guests, our partners and attendees for being a part of this momentous occasion. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we officially kickstart GAFX 2025. We have a power-packed day ahead, starting with our first keynote on government policy, followed by an exclusive premiere of the Supandi animated show and the Wingstar trailer launch. Stay tuned for inspiring discussions, deep dives into animation aesthetics, and a fascinating look at the role of AI in media and entertainment. I would also like to take this opportunity to extend a heartfelt thanks to our sponsors whose support and contribution makes this event a resounding success. We have the Department of ITBT, Government of Karnataka, K-Tech, Startup Karnataka, our presenting partner, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, our title partner, AIGDF, our associate partner, Department of ITC, Government of Rajasthan, iStart, and our bronze partner, NetApp, Zebu, ARC, and Autodesk, our e-sport partner, Sky Esports, who is organizing the national championship powered by AMD. I would also like to thank our Expo partner and all our other partners who have helped us set up different zones for GAFX 2025. For your information, at Kalinga Hall 2, we have the gaming track. At Lalit Hall 1 and 2, we have the comics track. At the Grand Ballroom, we have panel discussions lined up over the next 3 days. We have the expo happening at the Magad Lawn. On the other side, we have our sketch alley and esports and art animation contest right outside. We will be resuming with our first session in the few moments following up, so requesting you all to kindly stay back.